Health and Wellness Startups Toolkit, a few things you need to know when you're starting your health and wellness business. Hey, I'm Morgan Davis. I'm a business attorney based in Raleigh, North Carolina. I focus on cannabis and wellness. Let's talk about how to keep your business protected and thriving. So I started Davis Legal 5 years ago with the really big idea of helping healers what they do best, heal people. And when I talk about healers, my focus is often in cannabis, medical spas, psychedelics, spiritual and theogenic practitioners, what a lot of people would consider alternative types of wellness businesses. So I don't work with hospitals and your traditional general practitioners and medical practices. I work with people that call themselves healers more often than not, or who are working in the wellness product space. I wanted to help healers focus on doing what they do best by helping them establish a stress-free business that is well-founded and builds and thrives over the years while they can focus on delivering the medicine that they're creating. It's my way of being a healer while being a lawyer. So I spend a lot of time with all sorts of startups that are in this sort of alternative health and wellness space. And I get asked a lot of the same questions over and over again that are similar to any startup business, but a few that are quite specific to this space. So I thought today I'd break down the three biggest questions or three most often asked questions that I get when working with startups in this space and talk about their answers in the hopes that it can help you start your health and wellness business. 1, should I trademark my brand now? So lots of people, when they start their business, create a beautiful brand around this idea that they've had bubbling up in them for years, and it's a passion and they're in love with it, and they should be. You gotta love what you're putting into the world. And you've gotta really believe in the brand that you're creating if you're creating a brand, which most people are. Whether it's you as a person is your brand, or your product is your brand, or your business is your brand. Generally, there's an idea that you're creating that is specific to that venture. And it comes with, sometimes it comes with a beautiful logo that you get to design and a website and all sorts of other fun stuff. And there's this desire out of the gate to protect that idea, which I totally get. But the answer as to whether or not you should trademark immediately is maybe, maybe not. It depends on a number of factors. One is, where is your audience and how broad is it? So are you an online only company with a huge Instagram and TikTok following all over the United States and all over the world? In that case, a trademark might be useful to you sooner rather than later. But if you're a very localized company, let's say you are a yoga studio and you're really only reaching those members in your community, there are common law protections that come to you based on your geographical location that don't immediately require you to get a trademark to protect them. And in addition to that, if you're not planning on going outside of your 25 or 50 mile radius in the next 2 to 3 years, and you're really just hyper-focused in your community, there's not a lot of benefit to getting a national trademark with the US Patent and Trademark Office, right? You don't need that yet. Not to say that you won't need it down the road, and not to say that you can't go ahead and reserve it for down the road. But spending the couple of $1,000s it might take to get that trademark done isn't necessary immediately. What kind of insurance do I need? That depends on what kind of services you offer. So if you're a medical spa, all of your medical practitioners need medical malpractice insurance. You also need premises liability and renter's insurance if you are renting a space or leasing a space. You're going to need general liability insurance, which every business should have. And you may consider things like business interruption insurance and equipment insurance, because in a medical spa, you buy some very expensive equipment, from chairs to lasers to all sorts of things. You probably want to insure those things in the event that, let's say, your building burns down or it floods or something breaks. There are lots of different types of insurance that would be needed. Whereas if you are a breathwork practitioner who's offering online courses that are pay-as-you-go or a masterclass of some kind, and you're only putting them out through your website and your social media platforms, you're still going to want a general liability coverage for your business and errors and omissions for your website. But you don't necessarily, one, you're not a licensed professional, so you don't need malpractice insurance. But I would suggest that you have a waiver signed by anyone purchasing anything from you that alerts them to the fact that you are offering them services that are not, you're not holding them out to be curative, you're not holding them out to be medically prescribed, and that any benefit they may experience from it is lovely and wholly their own experience, but that you're not guaranteeing anything. How do I protect myself and my family from my business? This is by far one of the most popular questions I get. And it makes sense. You are going out on a limb, doing something maybe you've never done before. Maybe you've never even run a business before. And the concern is, I have family at home. I have other things that I need to protect, even if I don't have a family, that I don't want, if everything goes wrong in my business, I don't want this new venture to have any effect on these things over here. That's smart and a common desire of almost anybody going into business for themselves. The answers to that are two things. One, structure, how you structure your business legally and how you maintain that structure. And two, maintaining the liability shield. The whole point of starting a business outside of yourself and doing something like forming an LLC or a partnership or a corporation, any number of different types of legal entities, is to provide a shield around yourself personally and around your business that provides some of that space to protect your personal assets and your personal life from whatever goes on in your business. Maintaining that shield has a lot to do with legal documents and legal practices like operating agreements, how you disperse your funds, the types of insurance you get, other legal documents that you have with subcontractors and employees. All of these are factors in maintaining your liability shield and building a strong legal structure for your health and wellness business. Some people will say, well, you don't need those to get started in business. It's true. Legally, you are not required in the state of North Carolina to do anything other than make sure you have the necessary business licenses and make sure that you've filed with the Secretary of State. But I would say to you that you do need these things to answer the question of, how do I protect my personal assets from my business? If that's a concern, then these are necessary. I hope this little Q&A has been helpful to you. If you are looking to start your health and wellness business, or if you already have one and some of these things maybe are new for you or things that you don't have and you'd like some help, give us a call today. I'd love to help you start up your health and wellness business.